First of 3 meetings between the Rangers and Florida Panthers. Only one here at the Garden this year. Closed captioning is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Let's check out the Audi goaltender matchup. As Al mentioned, Henrik Lundqvist in goal. Gets the time off. Cam Talbot played the game in Columbus. And you see the numbers for Henrik Lundqvist on the season. But lately, he has been tremendous. And there is Tim Thomas, the Stanley Cup champion with Boston, former Vezina Trophy winner, and all-star goaltender.
Yeah, 2 Vezina trophies, in fact. And there's the new head coach of the Florida Panthers, Peter Horchak. He spent an awful lot of time as an assistant and associate coach in Nashville under Barry Trotz, who's a good friend, and Barry Trotz, one of the best coaches in the game, so he's learned an awful lot.
Rangers open up with Derek Stepan, Chris Kreider on the left, Matt Zuccarello on the right, and Ryan McDonough and Dan Girardi on defense. 27 is Nick Bjugstad, big young center. Another good young player they have on this team. Goodbranson, the defenseman, that's another one. They've got a lot of young talent.
Oh, first-round picks.
Yeah. Zuccarello battling Huberdeau and takes it away. That's been noticeable about Zuccarello in recent games. His battle level has really picked up. Kulikov, the defenseman, moves it to Huberdeau. Now Bjugstad dumps it in. Rangers have changed defense. Mark Stahl and Anton Strawman along. And that line that we talked about with Richards, Callahan, and Hagelin on for the Rangers. Hard around the boards for Hagelin in the neutral zone. Scotty Upshall for Florida, number 19 is there. Alexander Barkov is on, number 62. Richards winds it deep. Florida's lost 8 in a row, lost yesterday in Ottawa, an afternoon game. This is their 3rd game in the last 4 days. Strawman toward the net, redirected just wide by Callahan. Callahan with a bump on Tom Gilbert. And after the puck is Richards, lifts it back, and Hagelin gets there to keep it in. Callahan in front of was knocked away. And Upshall takes over.
Florida gave up 2 goals in the first 2 minutes and 4 seconds yesterday. They got better after that, made it a game and losing 3-2.
Along the boards, Mike Weaver with a shot that was blocked by Callahan with a stick. Tipped away by Barkov and played back by Kopecky to former Ranger Matt Gilroy. Wearing number 97, that familiar number that he wore here in 2 tries with the Rangers. Puck all the way down, back for it, Marcel Gottsch, number 57. Gottsch, net and stop. Good play by Derek Dorsett. Brought out by Kopecky, and now Brad Boyes drops it back to Gottsch. Winds it deep. Eric Brassard there. Boys bumped him. Elzado and John Moore on defense for the Rangers. A broken stick on the ice behind the Rangers goal line.
That's Mark Stahls from a shift ago.
Branson for Boys. And Gottsch sends it into the Rangers zone. And it's whistled down for an offside. 2.5 minutes in. No shots on goal in the game as yet.
Sam, you know it's been interesting throughout all this this first 16 games is that demeanor of that man right there hasn't changed much, has it? I mean, and even talking to the players, you talk about someone that's been able to just, you know, when the things were really going bad, just kept his cool, kept telling the players, listen, we gotta, you know, we'll keep working at it. We're gonna figure it out. Now Barch and Mashinter, by the way, having words. Barch got into a fight in yesterday's game in Ottawa. Well, he's not afraid to drop the gloves.
He's had a couple of fights recently.
But that's the thing about Vigneault. He just stayed calm, kept giving everybody confidence, and they've been able to turn things around.
Nice play. Good hustle by J.T. Miller. Along the boards, Ryan Boyle. Boyle, Miller, and Mashinter the line. That's a pass redirected just wide by Miller. Nice play by Girardi. Saw Miller and fired the pass to him. Mashinter chipped it off the boards for Boyle. Mashinter in the lineup replacing Taylor Pyatt, who was out with the head injury as he took an elbow from Fedor Tyutin in the Columbus game. Branson for Florida.
Boy, Miller, what a chance for Miller. You talk about needing some confidence. He just needed just a couple of more inches on that redirect.
Good play in the neutral zone by Stepan. And the Rangers with a transition. Here's Stahl. Shot blocked by Huberdeau. And played across. Kulikov gets to it. Kulikov slides to the head for Bjugstad. Over to him is Strawman. Sent around by Thomas Fleischmann. And played by Huberdeau. Checked by Stahl. Huberdeau comes away with the puck. Now it's Fleischmann turning. And it was tipped wide by Huberdeau. Nice give and go. Huberdeau and Fleischmann. Played by Bjugstad, who had a goal in yesterday's game. Comes out in front and it's shot blocked. Big block by Stahl. It was the same move that Bjugstad made yesterday and scored a goal in Ottawa.
Little different angle, but the same type of thing. Big lanky kid,
Yes,
6'5".
Boy, he protects the puck. Shot by Gilbert. Save! Good save. The puck loose. The scramble on. The whistle blows. Lundqvist was on top and able to stop play. Big time pressure from the Florida Panthers.
And the Panthers did not expect Bjugstad, a former first-round pick, to make the team. But these are the things he's doing. He makes that little move there, gets it to his forehand, and really a good block of the shot by Mark Stahl. And then gets some help, and this shot gets through. Lundqvist one save. There was Huberdeau, number 11, in front. And he was trying to get to a loose puck and could not.
Richardson, Barkov. Now Barkov sent out, and Christopher Stieg is in and wins the draw. Back to Tom Gilbert. Wristed wide of the net. Down comes Brian Campbell to get it. For Stieg, took a hit from Girardi. And the puck comes to Ryan McDonough. And McDonough lifts it out. All the way down it goes. And back forward is Gilbert. Pressuring him was Hagelin. Upshaw playing it back. Start a Let's Go Rangers chant. Gilbert fires out for Versteeg. Right on him, McDonough. On goal into the chest of Lundqvist, and right there is Barkov, and Lundqvist holds on. 4:59 gone by here in the first period.
There's the young Alexander Barkov. Saw him before the game in a t-shirt. He's a big, strong kid. 18 years of age. He's very quiet. He knows he can actually speak English pretty well. He played in Finland last year and had just about a point a game.
Played very well. Good scorer.
Yes.
Scored goals. Playing in the top Finnish league.
Surprised some people that Florida took Barkov with the 2nd overall pick instead of Seth Jones, who went to Nashville with the 4th overall pick.
And believe me, we spoke with David Poyle the other day. He's thrilled with Seth Jones.
Yes.
They loved him in Nashville.
Playing 25, 26 minutes a game. Playing with Shea Weber also, which has been good for his development.
People thought that he might be the number 1 pick overall. He dropped to number 4. Nashville is real happy that it happened for them. The outlet pass from John Moore, batted down by Mike Weaver. And should have been a hand pass, and finally is whistled down. The linesman,
good job.
The whistle. 5:40 gone by here in the first. Tuesday night on MSG. Scout said he was too small, but Derek Dorsett listened to another voice. Go home with a Rangers forward and find out how he made it all the way to the pros on an all-new Beginnings. Presented by Melrose Credit Union. Tuesday following Rangers Devils on MSG Network.
He's really played well. He really has. I mean, for his size, there's not many that are tougher than him. I mean, he's almost like a Brandon Prust. You know, mid-sized guy, probably smaller than Prust.
To me, Joe, there's a shot by Zuccarello, knocked away by Thomas with the right arm. He's cut out the bad penalties.
Right, exactly.
Big factor.
And they trust him in defensive situations at the end of periods and games.
Bergenheim was a healthy scratch 2 games ago. Battle along the boards. Chris Kreider is there. Stepan pries it loose. Now Kreider there to play it back. Strawman with a wrist shot. Saved by Thomas. And Sean Matthias able to move it down to Bergenheim. Bergenheim had it knocked away. Matthias picks it up. Checked by Strawman. Knocked away by Stahl. Run out by Brian Boyle. Back and forth they go. Boyle dumps it in. And Campbell lost it. JT Miller. Miller against Campbell. And Huberdeau. And Huberdeau made a good play. But now it's Nick Bjugstad picking it up. moving in against McDonough. And Miller caught up to him. Oh, that pass from McDonough went right through the skates of Brandon Matchinter. Winds up an icing on the Rangers. 5:48 gone by here in the first period.
Now, Ryan McDonough, his overall game just keeps getting better and better. And now that he's added offense to his game, that's just something that, you know, is part of his development. I mean, he's always worked on his shot in the offseason, but now with the opportunity to play the power play, he is thriving in all areas.
We were talking with him yesterday, and the word trust amongst the players, that they trust each other more than ever. Early in the season, there was some doubt and hesitation. That trust is now really manifested itself, and you can see the defenseman going forward, and he's thriving on it. Boyle putting it into the zone. Tom Gilbert swings it around for Brian Campbell.
When you have 3 wins on the season, it's hard for anyone to be a plus player. Both Gilbert and Campbell are plus players in the plus-minus department. They play big minutes.
Girardi, long pass up the middle to Hagelin. He drives it into the corner. Right there is Brad Richards. Around to Hagelin. Fires and off the mask of Tim Thomas. I think that caught him in the bottom of the mask. Bukestad across. Finds an open man. It's Matt Gilroy. Moves in. His shot deflected and knocked down. And covered with the glove, but poked loose. Still a loose puck goes behind the net. Huberdeau trying to get it to Gilbert, rather to Bukestad. Huberdeau has it back. Now to Mike Weaver. Across to Gilroy. Turns, fires, trying to hit Bukestad, cutting in from the right. Out comes Hagelin with Delzano. Hagelin puts it in front and goes all the way through. Gilroy with a good job checking Delzano. They tie each other up. Out of the corner, Dorsett put it in front for Brassard, but it was knocked away.
Good pace, isn't it?
Yes.
Florida played yesterday, as you talked about, and they've come out with some energy to their game.
Give away by Pouliot, but taken back by Brassard from Kopetsky.
Nice defensive play by Derek Brassard.
Pushed ahead by Derek Dorsett, and Tomas Kopetsky able to play it back to Dmitry Kulikov. 8:40 gone by in the first period. Here's Kopetsky, long shot, gloved by Lundqvist, and leaves it to Mark Stahl. Strawman plays it up the boards to Dorsett. Dorsett, Brassard, and Pouliot. Here's Pouliot moving in. Dropped it off, long shot by Stahl, went wide. During attempt by Chris Bartz was blocked. Mathias playing it back. Richard Branson moves it up the boards. Bergenheim was stopped. He's able to get it to Mathias. Very few stoppages here. To get the puck to Lundqvist around the boards. Mathias takes it. Stempon on him. Poked away nicely by Stahl. Deflects across and Strawman moves it. No score in the game. Rangers 4 shots. Florida 3. That's a skate on Stepan, but the Panthers able to gain control. Scotty Upshall tied up. Good play by Kreider. Moving in. Drop to McDonough for Kreider. Open net for the goal by J.T. Miller. What a play! That was a thing of beauty.
What passing. Well, the Rangers make the defensive play in the neutral zone. Miller was there to jump on it, and now they find the open men. Beautiful play by McDonough. What a move by McDonough. Here's the defensive play. Miller to McDonough. Here comes the move. Wow, what a move. And then the passing play, and Tim Thomas has no chance of stopping that one. Spectacular goal.
Well, we've been talking about the Florida youngsters, the Rangers youngsters looking pretty good on that play. Kreider and J.T. Miller, 2 Ranger first-rounders. And Ryan McDonough added to that. Upshall the other way. Rangers score first and grab the lead. 9:45 to go here in the first period. Well, J.T. Miller, that's his 3rd career goal. The first 2 came in 1 game against the Islanders. He hasn't scored since, but that's got to feel awful beautifully good for young JT.
Well, healthy scratch, right, Sam?
Yeah.
And then given another chance.
He went 35 games going back to last season without scoring a goal. 3-on-1 Rangers. Richards to Callahan to Richards. Wide.
Richards didn't get all of it.
Stahl winds up. Big drive. Save Thomas. Here's Hagelin. Pass in front. Callahan blocked. Shot did not get through. Huberdeau clears it out to Fleischmann.
Kulikov with a beautiful block. As Tim Thomas had already dove across, anticipating that shot. Kulikov went down to block it. What action.
And the fans into it as the Rangers skating well, getting chances. Up the board, stopped by Gilbert. Finds a deep Strowman there. Strowman on with John Moore. Strowman able to slide it ahead. It goes by Gilbert. Played ahead by Brad Boyce. Stopped by John Moore. And the Rangers regroup. Strowman and Moore. 8:20 to go. First period. Rangers a 1-0 lead. Quick shot, step on, a save by Thomas, and he holds it. Rangers looking good, skating well, using their speed and finding the open man, JT Miller, for the goal. We couldn't get between the benches. Time to go between the benches, presented by Ford. Here's our man, John Giannone.
Well, Sam, you talked about the importance of that goal for JT Miller. It was important to the head coach as well, because Alain Vigneault has talked about wanting to see JT Miller produce. After that goal, Miller got to the bench. Alain Vigneault made his way down to the bench, patted him on the top of the head, gave him an attaboy. Right. Hey, we've got Ron Duguay in studio tonight. We invite you to share your thoughts with him. Send your thoughts on Twitter. The hashtag is NYR. And send your questions as well for our first intermission guests. It's alternate captain Brad Richards, who actually just blocked a potential goal from Ryan Callahan a minute ago.
Attaboy, John. I thought the block was by Kulikov, but it was actually Richards that made the block of the good scoring chance.
Thanks, John. I like those attaboys. Those are great.
You get a bunch of those in one game, you'll probably win.
Penalty upcoming on the Rangers. Florida moves down. Extra man on. Versteeg looking for a tip from Upshaw. Just missed. The touch-up made. First power play of the game. Charging call on the Rangers.
Chris Kreider. Yes. Now, the good thing about Kreider is that he is skating and hitting. And now Upshaw has some words with him. There's the hit on Barkov, the 18-year-old.
Rangers penalty number 20, Chris Kreider, 2 minutes for charging.
Kreider for charging at 12:03, and Florida goes on the power play. Rangers goal. Miller is first of the season from Kreider and McDonough at 9:49. Panthers set it up. Their power play has really struggled during this losing streak. They lost 8 in a row. Fleischmann up the boards to Goodbranson. Goodbranson moves it ahead to Fleischmann, out to Kulikov. Goodbranson, one-timer, save Lundqvist. Rangers have Girardi and McDonough with Boyle and Stepan as the penalty killers. The Rangers penalty killing over the last 6 games, 15 for 17. Goodbranson finds Fleischmann. Now Kulikov with a shot high off the glass. Branson gets there, gave it away to Stepan, who clears. 40 seconds gone by on the power play. Kulikov back to the puck. Rangers bring on Stahl and Strowman with Callahan and Hagelin. Kulikov for the lead of Barkov. Around the boards. Versteeg let it go through. Gilbert had it tipped away. Good play by Hagelin. Good play in the neutral zone. Hagelin and Stahl. Ryan Campbell drives it hard around the boards. Stahl and Barkov. Stahl with that long stick chipped it off the boards, joins the rush. 3 men down for the Rangers, and Hagelin goes for a change. Callahan dumping it in.
Yeah, one of the things that's really been confounding for Florida is last year they finished with the 6th best power play in the league. The year before they were 7th. So they're really confounded by what's going on their power play.
Kopetsky plays it down low for Marcel Gottsch. Gottsch around to Gilbert, the defenseman. Out to Brian Campbell. Winds up. Drive blocked on the way in with a stick by Derek Dorsett. Rangers have McDonough and Girardi with Dorsett and Zuccarello. Kopetsky to Campbell. Cross to Gilbert. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Campbell turns. Open man, the shot saved. Boy, is the shot good save by Lundqvist. Team's at full strength. The penalty kill by the Rangers. 2 shots on goal for Florida on that power play. Kopetsky takes it away and shoots, blocked in front. And Girardi plays it off the boards to Dorsett. Rangers a 1-0 lead with 5:35 to go here in the first period. Kreider to Zuccarello. Kreider and McDonough, who got assists on the goal by Miller, now have 7 points over the last 7 games each. As we talked about the contributions up and down the line. Campbell. Fleischman tied up by John Moore, and Brassard takes over. Brassard slowed down by Bjugstad, able to get it into the Florida zone. Thomas looks around. And a good hustling play behind the net by Pouliot. Pouliot, little pass to Richards. Richards looking, comes out. That's a pass that went off the skate. He tried to get it through to Pouliot, who had an opening on the other side.
Thomas had no idea that Pouliot was coming in from the other side and made the play.
Fleischman, 2 Rangers there, Delzato and Moore. Richards joins the group around the boards. Nashinter is there for the Rangers. As they battle, 6 players there. Cross-check from John Moore. As he knocked down Bergenheim. Out to the puck, Brian Boyle. Boyle and Kulikov after it. Boyle, good effort by Boyle, and he lost his stick. Miller trying to play it. DeBranson comes away with it for Florida. On Bergenheim. Weaving his way in, and Stahl with that long reach, doing the job again.
The Strawman got tripped down. That's going to be a penalty against Florida, and the Rangers will go on the power play.
Rangers' first power play of the game. 3:58 to go. Mark Stahl with a good defensive play. Strawman gets tripped up. The box for tripping.
And here's the play. Mark Stahl made the defensive play against Bergenheim, who lost the puck, and then he got his stick into the skates of Anton Strawman. Rangers power play.
Gives the Rangers their first of the game. His power play is brought to you by Volkswagen. It's Brian Skrudland, one-time Florida Panther captain, one-time Ranger for nearly 1 season, 1997-98 season.
He was the first captain in the history of the Florida Panthers.
Stanley Cup champion as well.
Couple of those,
got
right?
John Madden on the bench.
John Madden's won 3 Stanley Cups.
Some interesting help. And guys who know the team. John Madden was scouting for this team and has been around the Panthers. Brian Skrudland has been a member of the organization. Rangers on the power play here. 5 for 21 over the last 6 games on the power play. Special teams have been good in recent games. Rangers having won 5 of their last 6. Callahan, Zuccarello, and Stepan with Richards and McDonough. Here's McDonough with room to Richards. A save by Thomas. Callahan up to Richards. Off the stick of McDonough, out of the zone, racing forward, Marcel Gotch. McDonough's there, gets help from Stepan.
Nice job by the Rangers in the offensive zone, fighting for the puck. There were 2 Florida Panthers in there, 2 Rangers, and then the Rangers sent a 3rd man, and that extra man allowed them to get control.
Delzato comes on. And moving in, Brassard is just on the ice. Richards goes to Delzato, pass across off the skate of Brassard. Comes out to Richards. Now Delzato. Back to Richards. He's got some room. Takes the shot. It's deflected wide. Brassard finds Zuccarello. Now Delzato moving. Delzato gets it back. Richards, Delzato, Brassard. Delzato turns, back to Richards. Looking for an opening, side of the net, Callahan. Out to Richards. Delzato with a shot wide. Around the boards for Richards. That shot is wide to Callahan, blocked by Kulikov. Callahan gets it back to Delzato. 15 seconds to go in the power play. Callahan looking, winds up, big drive, deflected by Kulikov, stopped by Thomas. Zuccarello's got it. Checked by Goodbranson.
Penalty killer's tired. Look at him standing. And now Kulikov without a stick.
Lozano moving, power play is over. Richards moves in, shot deflected off of Goodbranson. Tries to clear, stopped by Delzato. Shot blocked by Sean Matthias. Good play by Dorsett, then it's knocked away by Upshaw. Upshaw to Bergenheim. Moves in, the shot is high. Lundqvist tried to head it with the mask, but he missed. It's too high. Up the boards, out of the zone, a minute and a half to go. First period, Rangers leading 1-0. Rangers had 2 shots on goal on their power play.
Well, they had good puck movement, though, didn't they? Moving around, finding the open man. They missed the net a couple of times.
They kept it in the zone for a long time. Weaver. Huberdeau finds Bjugstad. He moves in and shoots wide and high. On the boards. Out comes Benoit Pouliot. Ahead, tipped ahead by Miller. Miller fires toward the net. Save! Thomas looked behind him. It was between the pads. What a redirection. Oh, great play. But Thomas comes up with a save. 1-0 Rangers.
Rangers with a good scoring chance. They lead it 1-0. Benoit Pouliot has the puck. Little give and go. Goes to the front of the net. Miller feeds it to him, and he just reaches out with the stick and gets a piece. Here's the feed, and what an effort by Pouliot. Reaches, gets the stick, and Thomas, oh, it's there someplace. Where is it? He's looking behind him. Needed a little help.
Nice play by JT Miller. He's looking good so far this game.
Confidence never hurts.
Boyle, Kreider, and Miller on the ice here. Boyle taking the face-off against Nick Bjugstad. 1 minute to go here in the first period. Rangers with a 1-0 lead on the goal by JT Miller. Miller chases it down. Tied up by Kulikov. Comes back to McDonough. Toward the net. Blocked. Branson and Kreider were tied up. Boyle with a hit and a takedown penalty on Brian Boyle. Puck out to center. Touched up. Play stops, and the Florida Panthers will go on a power play.
Brian Boyle tried to drop the stick and gets called and has an argument. Goes in, gets the stick between the legs. And that's the one they're really calling the last number of years. You get your stick between the opposing player's legs. And the best thing to try to do is just drop your stick immediately. He held on a little bit too long. And so the Rangers shorthanded in the last minute of this first period.
Face-off win by Versteeg. Tom Gilbert with a puck. Rangers have Stepan and Callahan on with McDonough and Girardi. Barkov. Alexander Barkov looking. Holding. Pass across. Shot save. Rebound save. Lundqvist. And it's put in by Barkov. On the third shot, Lundqvist with 2 beautiful saves. And then Alexander Barkov has tied the game.
Now Barkov started it. They win the face-off, and now Barkov over on the right side. Good little pass right here. That's one shot, save. Second shot, save. And then Barkov just went to the net and got the third one. And Lundqvist nearly had that one, as did McDonough. So that's a big goal for Florida, scoring with 26 seconds remaining in the first period to tie the game. They played a pretty good first period.
Barkov getting his 4th goal. He had gone 8 games without a goal, 7 games without a point. So the youngster, the big one, here's Dorsett moving in. Fires across, saved by Thomas. And Florida able to clear the puck away. Rangers getting down low, getting chances on Tim Thomas.
Thomas has had a good period as well.
Dorsett with a takedown on Gilroy. Gilroy answers back. Gilroy lost his helmet. And a takedown by Dorsett. Period comes to an end. Rangers skated well in that first period. Had the 1-0 lead on the goal by JT Miller. But the late penalty by Brian Boyle gave Florida an opening.
That was an offensive zone penalty. I thought the period itself was a real skating period by both teams. Not necessarily wide open, but just good puck movement, quickness by both teams, and both goaltenders had to be alert. Good first.
Back in Madison Square Garden, getting set for the second period. Rangers and Florida Panthers. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. One of the Rangers' top players in that first period, I thought, Joe.
He was good. He did a lot of good things. JT Miller in that first period, he made some good defensive plays. I thought he was patient holding on to the puck. And then the goal that gave the Rangers the lead. What a play by Chris Kreider. And then Miller comes in, and then beautiful move here, and then on this pass, Kreider has to stop it with his skate, kick it to his stick, make the pass all in one motion, and then JT Miller puts it in to the empty side. And then here's just after the goal. This was the opportunity. Another good pass, and that was Callahan that had the chance, and Richards tries to get out of the way. Look at the goaltender, Tim Thomas. He is out of there. He's going to dive to try and get to the other side, and had Richard been able to elude that one, that might have been a 2-0 Ranger lead, but instead Florida comes back with a late power play goal to tie.
In our conversation with Peter Horacek, the new Florida coach before the game, he talked about wanting to play harder and faster. I think we're seeing that.
I think, yeah, for sure. I think we did. And I had a chance. I ran into Dale Talon, their general manager, in between periods. And Dale was talking about, listen, I know we need to make some change around here, but he said, we like these kids. So we're going to keep playing them, keep bringing them up. They've got quite a few kids in their system.
Underway second period, Kreider moves in. The drive was off the skate of Tom Gilbert. Rangers with Stepan, Zuccarello, and Kreider. Girardi and McDonough. Long pass for Kreider, goes by him on goal. Thomas steers it from Gilbert. Nice play by Zuccarello on Campbell. Now Huberdeau plays it back to Campbell. The Rangers will be home Tuesday night against the New Jersey Devils. Puck knocked away, and McDonough takes over. Devils are home tonight against the Nashville Predators. Here's Richards moving in. Shot deflected away and up into the netting by Tom Gilbert. New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by Lenox Hill Hospital, the official hospital of the New York Rangers.
Well, Tim Thomas has twice been hurt this season, and he came back to play yesterday, and he said right after the game he didn't feel tired, he felt good. They had a quick conversation with the coach. The coach says, listen, we need our best players playing. He said, play me. He said, I'm ready to get right back in there.
Pass out in front, Thomas with a save as he robbed Callahan. Great setup for Callahan. Gudbranson in deep. That shot knocked down. I think it got through, and Lundqvist was able to knock it down. Stralman fires hard around the boards from Callahan, stopped by Gudbranson. And the Panthers move back in. Christopher Steen against Anton Stralman. Upshaw out to Gudbranson, off his stick. Here's a race for the puck. Kulikov, good skater, comes over from the near side to get the puck. Florida will go home, finishing up a 3-game and 4-night trip. And they'll play a home game on Tuesday night. Not much practice time since the new coach.
And then they go back on the road, and they end up with a long road trip out west. Meanwhile, the Rangers with a real good chance here. And this is what speed can do. You'll see Callahan, or pardon me, behind the net. Rangers just keep chasing. And then here comes Hagelin, steals it. Quick pass in front. And Callahan with the quick shot. Thomas has been good. Catches that one off the left shoulder. He's played well.
Matt Gilroy fires it off the end boards. Tomas Kopecky for Brad Boys, and around to Marcel Gott. Gott out in front. That shot deflected away. Comes all the way around and down to the zone. Gilroy back to get it. Gilroy getting a lot of ice time.
He is.
For the Florida Panthers.
He had to buy 6 tickets for family members. His dad is here.
He looked resigned to it, like, oh man.
But then it was kind of only 6 for that clan.
Lozado, boys on him. Out for Derek Dorsett. Campbell holding. Dorsett, Mashinter, and Boyle the line for the Rangers. We talked about Taylor Pyatt being out. Some real promising news is that Rick Nash has been on the ice the last 3 days.
Boy, he looked good yesterday, didn't he? We're talking to him. He looked upbeat, and he said, well, you got to wait till tonight to see how I feel. Well, because he's been getting headaches at night. He got to last night, no headaches.
Went out this morning.
Worked a little bit harder today than he did yesterday.
Good sign. No target date yet, but as you said, he looked good, and he had that. There was a glimmer in his eye. Like,
for sure.
I feel good. I'm feeling better. That's a good sign. Off the boards, Bergenheim. Fleischman checked in front. In deep, Matthias save. Lundqvist. And the puck was loose in the crease. Lundqvist able to drop on top of it.
The Rangers couldn't clear it. And then McDonough was down on one knee. And he actually held on to the puck in the crease with his stick so that Lundqvist could come over and get it. Good move here by Bergenheim. And then one chance there, and Mashinter tried to clear it with one hand on his stick. And as McDonough went down, he just kind of, instead of trying to do something with the puck, he just held on to it until Lundqvist could come over and freeze it.
McDonough tried to fire it ahead, went off a stick of Fleischman all the way back in the Florida zone. Kulikov for Bukestad. Slowed down by Stepan. And taken away by Stepan. Nice play. Zuccarello. Controlling. Good play by Zuccarello. Here's Stepan. Toward the net. Deflected off the side of the net by Kreider. McDonough trying to play it. Huberdeau for Florida. Boy, Zuccarello. I'm thinking we talk to the players about him as they talk about how smart he is on the ice. Icing his whistle against Florida. 4:10 gone by here in the second period. Tuesday night on MSG. Rangers and the Devils here at the Garden. Live coverage gets underway with Visa Rangers game night at 6:30. Rangers and Devils Tuesday night on MSG Network. Part of the Tri-State Challenge presented by Ford. Richards and Fleischman. Fleischman chased.
And Sam Zuccarello was saying the other day, he says, I tried to make too many quick plays with the puck. That's why you see him holding on to it more.
Fleischman hustled to it, but then got stopped by Stahl. The good outlet. Callahan moves in on Mike Weaver. Across to Richards. And a save that might have gone off the mask of Thomas again.
And the post, I believe.
Played by Strawman. Strawman and Stahl. Versteeg on the forecheck. Nice little pass to Stahl. Save off the left shoulder of Tim Thomas. And up into the netting, play stops.
Now Rangers are getting chances. The turnover, and then they turn this into an odd man rush. And Callahan, have come the shot right here from Richards. Thomas gets a piece of it, then off the post. And then the Rangers will add one more chance as Thomas deflects it up into the netting. He was very appreciative of the video tribute they gave him in Boston the other day. He had his family there, his 3 kids, all came up from Florida. He didn't play because he was still on IR. It was a real nice thing for them to do.
Out of the zone, Del Zotto picks it up. 5 minutes gone by, second period. 1-1 game. John Moore sends it in. JT Miller is scoring for the Rangers. And Alexander Barkov for Florida. Barkov on the power play. Versteeg played it wide of the net, and after it's got Upshaw. Taken away by Pouliot. That was blocked by Versteeg, who takes over. Nice pass. Upshaw shoots, save by Lundqvist. And then take away by Versteeg. Set up a good scoring chance for Florida.
They've done a pretty good job on the forecheck. Florida, they're playing that quicker game, that faster game. They're getting in a hurry. Not much time to make a play. Versteeg does a nice job finding Upshaw with that chance. Versteeg, 6 months ago, had major surgery on the knee, ACL, and he was back in 6 months, which is, that's quick for that type of surgery. And late March, so it's taken him a little time just to kind of get those legs going again.
Here's Gotch and Boyle for the face-off. Boyle on with Miller and Mashinter. Pass set up for Boys, but he missed it and shot it wide. Taken out by Miller. 3-on-2 across. Now the Panthers catch up and offside. A good poke check by Brian Campbell brought an offside on the Rangers.
Now, Sam, these goaltenders, we've seen real good play out of 2 of them, and then when you look at that, you think, well, okay, Tim Thomas and Henrik Lundqvist, active career leaders in save percentage. Tremendous. And then Tuukka Rask, who's up at the top. He's the man who took over for Tim Thomas in Boston.
Kulikov to Goodbranson and back to Dmitry Kulikov. Boys checked by Girardi. Girardi went down. Ashinter getting it across to Miller. That pass broken up by Gotch and played by Goodbranson. One thing we should note that Kevin Dineen did a real good job, I think, while he was here with Florida. They won a division title 2 seasons ago, and he got his players to play hard and help turn things in a positive direction. Yeah, didn't play well last year and got off to a rough start. Florida made the change. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. We were talking about coaches. Peter Horacek just hired as the head coach of the Florida Panthers. They've had 12 head coaches since 1993-94, most in the NHL.
Mike Keenan was one of those, and it was interesting last night on Hockey Night Live that Al had a conversation with Mike, who called over from Russia.
There you go. Peter Horacek, as Joe mentioned, longtime assistant and associate coach in Nashville, and was the head coach in Florida's minor league team in San Antonio. And they went to him and brought in 2 former NHLers as assistant, John Madden and Ryan Skrudland.
And they also told him if he wanted to add one more, that he was to go ahead.
Stepan Kreider going to the net, chases it down, winds it to Zuccarello. Knocked away, good play by Sean Matthias, and Mike Weaver moves it. 1-1 game. 7 minutes gone by here in the second period. Matthias stopped along the boards by John Moore. Gilbert plays it ahead, stopped by Moore, fires it out to Kreider, and gave it up to Campbell. Shots are 13-12 for the game in favor of the Rangers. Jonathan Huberdeau drops it off. Bjugstad to Huberdeau. Huberdeau. Now Campbell. Gilbert playing it ahead. Fires from a sharp angle. Save, rebound, save. Tom Gilbert, the defenseman, coming in for the rebound, had a great chance, and Lundqvist with a save and able to stop play.
Spectacular save by Lundqvist. Tom Gilbert from the right point, a little give and go, and then when he went to the net, he was able to find a rebound right here, and Lundqvist with the right pad. Beautiful save. There's Gilbert with the chance, and Lundqvist. He's got confidence.
Off the face-off, Callahan tips it out of the zone. Hagelin racing for it. Kulikov able to play it away. Now Barkov.
Into the
Steve with a shot, a save. Upshaw got knocked into the Rangers bench.
I mean, he was all the way down to the floor. You couldn't see him.
Long shot by Goodbranson was blocked. Florida is really playing well here to have control. Shot by Versteeg, save, and the puck is covered by Lundqvist. Big battle in front of the net, and the wrestling goes on. But right now, Florida is playing some good hockey as they've gotten some great chances the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Lundqvist has been good. Lundqvist has been really good. Florida skating. Here's Callahan with the hit on Upshaw. There he goes. Just a solid hit by Callahan. Upshaw gets back into play, finds his stick. And then here's Versteeg, who held onto the puck and waited, was very patient, and Lundqvist stayed with him and made the save. Excellent save again by Lundqvist. Upshaw then gets back in the play. He gets to the front of the net. Dan Girardi helps clear out in front of Lundqvist.
And with everybody down past the top of the circles, the face-off came out. Gotch moving it ahead of Brad Boyes. In front, broken up. Nice play by Stallman. Out comes Richards. That Stahl, and the long shot stopped by Tim Thomas. Mark Stahl leading the rush down the ice. Play stops. See the Rangers at the fully transformed Madison Square Garden. New York Rangers 2013-2014 individual game tickets are on sale now. The Blue Shirts host the LA Kings next Sunday, November 17th. Great seats are yours by visiting NewYorkRangers.com. Stepan playing it back to McDonough. Kreider for Zuccarello. The Panthers take it back. Panthers now outshooting the Rangers 18-14. Seems to me, Joe, the Rangers are going to have to raise their level of play.
They're not forechecking as much in this period.
Campbell, the defenseman, in deep, controlling the puck. Now Gotch open. Pass into the middle was tipped away. Gilbert after it. Zuccarello trying to move it. Lifts it ahead. Kopetsky went down. And shielding the puck from Chris Kreider. Nice play by Stepan to reach in. And Delzato able to play it off the boards. Back the other way. Stepan had it knocked away. A lot of traffic in the neutral zone.
Right, and not as much of a free-flowing period as we saw in the first.
This is an icing on the Florida Panthers. 9:29 gone by here in the second period of a 1-1 game.
Yeah, and this is the second period. As we were told yesterday's second period by Florida was not very good in Ottawa. Had a little bit of a letdown, so that was discussed. And they've come out flying here in the second.
Richards and Bukestad for the face-off. Richards wins it. Callahan try to push it ahead to Hagelin near the goal. This is another icing on Florida. So a couple of whistles stopping play here.
The young Bukestad kid is taking a lot of face-offs for Peter Voracek. Tim Thomas was also saying before the game, he said, you know what? He said, I think we're going to turn this around. He said, I like our team. He said, I think we can turn this thing around and get back in the playoff race.
A lot of it depends on him.
For sure.
If he stays healthy.
For sure.
Gives them some top-flight goaltending.
They've allowed a lot of soft goals this season from their goaltenders. And as we talked about earlier, Tim Thomas was hurt a couple of times.
Huberdeau able to bring it out. Stallman goes over to play it. Stahl moves it quickly. Nice pass to Hagelin. Richards. Thomas able to stop it behind the net. Callahan there to take it back. His pass intercepted by Bukestad. Good play by the big young center. Then Stahl makes a nice play at the Rangers blue line. Seems some strong defensive play. That went off the stick of Brassard. Weissman winds it deep. Stallman stepping ahead of Matthias, who wraps him up. And Brassard's pass deflects out of play. Over the head of John Giannone, who is about to leap up. Decided against it. It's a souvenir. We'll be right back. Time for our Cadillac trivia question. Who was the Rangers' first Calder Trophy winner? That's Jonathan Huberdeau, Florida's first Calder Trophy winner. What do you think, Joe?
I don't know.
I'm going
don't
with
you?
Camille Henry. Camille the Eel. What do we think? Kilby McDonald. Way before my time. Kilby McDonald. 1940, the Stanley Cup championship year. No wonder they won. Kilby was the rookie of the year. Wow.
I wasn't thinking of Kilby.
He hasn't come up in recent conversations.
No.
You know, the guys who know that I have trouble with trivia are giving me the business. Of course Camille Henry won the Calder Trophy. It just wasn't the first one.
Well, you should get some sort of credit for that. All right, the teacher
Camille was a very popular player. Brassard, Dorsett, and Miller on here.
We've got Girardi out with John Moore
Alain Vigneault moving some people around. I don't think Benoit Pouliot's playing all that much time here, Joe. That's sent in by Goodbranson, deflected. Good play by John Moore, and it goes up into the netting. 9:20 to go here in the second period. 1-1 game. Rangers have not been all that sharp here in the second. Florida has carried the play.
Florida's had the puck. The Rangers in the first period generate some offense because of their forecheck and getting in quickly. They've had more turnovers in the neutral zone and at the offensive blue line that have prevented them from getting that skating, hard, aggressive forecheck going here in the second.
Florida out shooting the Rangers 10-3 here in the second period. On the right, here's McDonough and Delzato. There's a pair on defense. Pass across Delzato, brings it in. Campbell is there. Nice pass through. Richard shot, save, Thomas. That was a terrific pass, and it was J.T. Miller, not Brad Richards, on the shot. Played back by Versteeg to Gilbert. Now Campbell winds up, long shot, and it goes in. Did that go off Brassard?
Yeah, I think it went off Brassard, then the post, then Lundqvist, is the way it looked to me. That shot looked like it was going wide, so you get a save down on the other end on the chance by J.T. Miller. And then Florida comes right back the other way. The puck movement over to the other side. If it wasn't Brassard, then it might have been the other Florida player. It looked like a deflection, though, off somebody there. And then off the post, maybe it was McDonough. And then off Lundqvist and in. I mean, it was going well wide. And again, it might have been McDonough.
I saw Brassard react and say something to Lundqvist, but you're right. I think it went off McDonough, off the post and off Lundqvist and into the net. A strange route, but it gets in there. And the Panthers have a 2-1 lead.
Well, and again, how many times you see a big save on one end, the other team comes down and finds a way to score a goal.
Stepan Kreider and Zuccarello on the ice. Zuccarello gets it back to Mark Stahl. That shot went wide. Stahl and Strawman on the fence. Pass in front intended for Kreider. Went by him and all the way out.
No, he just missed. Good setup by Stepan. Florida's taking the crowd out of the game as well.
Weaver took down Kreider, moving into Stepan. He shoots, save, Thomas. Stepan against Gilroy. Now it's Zuccarello. Zuccarello moves out, Gilroy to him. Stepan behind the net. Pass in front for Zuccarello. Thomas got a piece of it. Rangers get it back. Strawman and Zuccarello looking for an opening. That went off the skate of Weaver. Stahl gets to it. With pressure here by the Rangers. Kreider behind the net. Zuccarello plays it back to Strawman. Deep to Stepan. Stepan picked up by Gotch, fires in front, but off the stick of Gilroy. Now Zuccarello through the Stahl, winds up. That drive deflected off the outside of the net. Boy's got a piece of it. Lifted out of the zone all the way back, and icing waved off. As it never would have reached the goal line. Off the board, stopped by Huberdeau. Bjugstad, check from behind, and out comes Callahan with the puck. Bjugstad trying to get it back. Here comes Richards to the net. He moves around the net, and that goes off the back of the net. Deflected by Kulikov. In front of his shot wide by Hagelin. Now the Rangers with a couple of good shifts.
That's the second time that Thomas was down and out, and his players came back to help him out and prevented a shot.
Bjugstad against McDonough. Fleischman plays it to Bjugstad. Good hard shove by Girardi. And Hagelin looks it out of the zone. 2-1 Florida, 6:35 to go. Second period. Ryan Campbell.
That was just a better job of the Rangers getting the puck in deep and then sustaining some pressure.
And Lundqvist reaches out as McDonough went past the puck, and Lundqvist covers up and stops play.
Now the Rangers got some pressure on Tim Thomas, and there were a couple of times when he was down on the play and just not able to get back up. Here's one chance. He goes down, puck comes to the other side, to Zuccarello. Look at Thomas. He's down on the ice, but he can't shoot. There's two Panthers. Zuccarello wanted to shoot up high, and Thomas just stayed down on the ice. And then the other chance, he was down again.
Indeed, Delzato takes it away and finds Dorsett. Ryan Boyle. Boyle, Dorsett, and Brassard on for the Rangers. Here's Dorsett behind the net. Blocked and off the back. And it's put in! Dorsett may have gotten it. He stayed with it.
He did. He just kept working and working and working and knew it was in the area. He spun around with his stick on the ice, hoping he would make contact with it. Dorsett's behind the net. Here he comes. He'll just spin around right there, gets it, stays with it, then gets it past Tim Thomas to tie it. What a hard-working blue-collar goal by Derek Dorsett. Look at the effort. Gilbert's all over him. Dorsett won't go down. He stays with it and ties the game at 2.
Derek Dorsett had gone 13 games without a goal. And he scores to tie it up. Big goal gives the Rangers a lift. Just under 6 minutes to go in the second. 2-2 game. Stepan behind the net. Zuccarello overskated. Campbell moves it up to Kopetsky. Tomas Kopetsky pushed ahead by Brad Boyes. McDonough to Stepan. And Kreider. Boyes goes to him. Thomas pushes it to Campbell. Round for Brad Boyes, who played all of last season with the Islanders. Played in all 48 games for the Islanders. 1 year with that team. His best years, Brad Boyes' best years were with St. Louis.
He went to Florida, didn't he, on a tryout contract? And then they signed him to a one-year deal.
Been with Buffalo. Started his NHL career in San Jose after being drafted by Toronto. Toronto traded him to San Jose. Played briefly there. Played in Boston. And then, as I mentioned, in St. Louis, he had a 43-goal season, a 30-plus goal season. Giveaway to Brassard. Brassard, Boyle, and Dorsett back on. Boyle to Dorsett. Dorsett looks back for Boyle. Weaver on him. Boyle comes out right through the crease and goes. Good effort by Brian Boyle. Dorsett with a hit on Huberdeau.
Didn't take Alain Vigneault long to put that line back on the ice.
Yep. Jonathan Huberdeau double teamed. Good takeaway by Dorsett. Here's Richards for Hagelin. Hagelin for Richards, tipped wide. Oh, that just missed. What a play. Hagelin again.
He had the whole net.
Hagelin to Callahan. Toward the net, kicked away by Thomas. Now the Rangers playing better. Last 3-4 shifts, it's been the Rangers carrying the play. Under 4 minutes to go in the second. Thomas stops it, reverses to Weaver. And the fans into a giveaway to Richards. Saved by Thomas. And Thomas holds on. 3:42 to go. Second period. Good efforts by the Rangers, especially by Derek Dorsett.
A very frustrated Brad Richards, and here's why. 2 excellent chances. The first one set up by Hagelin. Good pass, and look at all the room. That puck, though, you could see the puck was up, and it just hit the top of his stick. And then here he comes here, another one. And then here's the frustration. Bang, broken stick. What a couple of chances. That first one, though, the puck was just not flat on the ice.
Got to break that stick. It's no good.
Right.
There were 2 goals there.
Put a wider blade on it.
The Rangers tying goal. Dorsett getting the goal, his second from Delzato and Boyle at 13:58. 2-2 the score, 3:25 to go, second period. Puck rolling all the way down will be an icing on the Rangers. Play stops. Wednesday night on MSG Network, the Knicks take on the Atlanta Hawks. Live coverage gets underway with Visa Rangers game night at 7:30. Then it's the Knicks and the Hawks Wednesday night on MSG.
Montreal leading the Islanders 4-2. That game late in the third.
Rangers will be in Montreal Saturday night. Shot by Campbell goes wide.
Devils winning 3-0. Nashville hasn't scored in a while. They were shut out their last game in Winnipeg 5-0.
Nashville on a long road trip. They had the Country Music Awards in their building. As David Poyle was telling us, takes a week to set up and a week to break down. So we're out of the building for 2 weeks. And Campbell. Gotch pass deflected by Stahl. 2:45 to go in the second. Marcel Gotch tries again. Tipped in by Huberdeau. Girardi goes back to get it. Stahl. Weaver fires in.
Should be offside. That is. So now they will clear the zone. Florida and Rangers have a little more time to make a play.
Brassard carrying end to end. Pass through for Dorsett. Back to Brassard off his stick. And Huberdeau takes over. Play by Girardi. Stood up at the line against Bukestad. Weaver. For Fleischman. Pair here is Stahl and Girardi. Well, if there's a problem with McDonough, we'll watch on that. Stahl looking for some room. Well, Brassard, or rather for Dorsett, and chops at it. Was blocked by Kulikov. And the Rangers able to clear it out. Kulikov takes it back. And at 40 to go in the second. Team has had the lead once in this game. That shot goes wide. And a nice offside was whistled on the play.
And the Rangers missing a player, Sam. They look like they're a man short to me. I might be wrong.
McDonough was not on this last shift.
I haven't seen Strawman
Girardi.
much. I haven't seen Strawman much either.
All right.
Now here comes Strawman now.
And McDonough. So they've changed
You just
pairs.
move players around.
Yeah. Gilbert tried to lift it ahead. That was knocked down. Callahan. Now Richards. Richards, Callahan, and Hagelin on. Hagelin against Campbell. Out to Strowman. Interesting changing up the pairs, the defensive pairs, Joe. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know what? He's been talking so much about the defense having to get involved in the offense. I think it was probably more on that end than anything.
Under a minute to go, second period. Callahan passed through for Hagelin. And Richards got taken down. Thomas gloved it, then dropped it, and was able to clear it away. Boys for Kopetsky. 45 seconds to go in the period. Kopetsky behind the net. Stahl has come on now. And Strowman is still on. Callahan for Hagelin. And the Panthers take it away. Kopetsky dumps it in. Gilroy in deep after. Stopped by Stahl. Strowman moves up. Final seconds of the second period. Stepan offside. Rangers. 14.5 seconds to go here in the second. Tuesday night on MSG. It's the Rangers and the Devils here at the Garden. Live coverage is underway with Visa Rangers game night at 6:30. Rangers and Devils on MSG at 7. Part of the Tri-State Challenge presented by Ford. Branson tried to shoot it in. It was deflected out of play. 14.2 seconds remaining. Shots are even at 20 apiece. Goals are even at 2 apiece.
First 10 minutes of this second period belonged to Florida. Lundqvist was very good. At one point, the shots were 10-3. Now there's a clock issue.
Time did not tick off on that last play. Brian Campbell.
It's his first goal of the season for Brian Campbell, which is a little bit of a surprise for him. Much power play time as he gets.
Girardi banks it off the glass, and the final seconds of the period ticked off, and that's it. So both teams with good flashes, good stretches. Rangers have to sustain theirs if they're going to come away with a win in this game.
Well, they turned the second period around for them when they started, again, getting the puck in deep and then really going after it, being aggressive. It's a young Florida team that is still trying to learn to play defense, and the Rangers controlled the puck when they played that way.
Let's go to the game side studio. Al Trautwig standing by. What's happening, Al? Welcome back to New York Rangers hockey. Rangers and Florida Panthers getting set for the third period. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. 2-2 game. Derek Dorsett scoring the goal to tie the game at 2. Here's our upcoming schedule, brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. Tuesday night, New Jersey Devils here at the Garden. On Saturday night, Rangers at Montreal. Sunday night, back here at the Garden, Rangers and the LA Kings. All games, well, the game at Montreal will be on MSG2. The other games on MSG, and all games preceded by 1/2 hour by Visa Rangers game night. All right, what do you think Alain Vigneault's got cooked up for this third period?
Well, again, I think he liked the way they played at the end of the second period, or at least the second half of that second period. So the way he coaches, I'm sure that'll be a reminder of the way they need to play, be aggressive. Again, this team that they're playing against played yesterday, flew in here last night. So they're going to want to go out and put some pressure on them as they did that second half.
Let's go downstairs between the benches. John Giannone, what's your take on things, John?
Joe, were you in the room? Because that's exactly what Associate Coach Scott Arniel said. He said, we reminded them of a couple things. Number one, they have more players on the puck at times than we do. He said, number two, we've got to take advantage of the fact that they played last night. Keep the puck away from Tim Thomas. He said, and the players need to be in layers in the offensive zone. We have guys in front, but we need them in the slot as well, because pucks are bouncing sort of far away from Thomas.
Thank you, John. Not only played yesterday afternoon, but this being the third game in 4 days. Having played in Boston prior to that. Bjugstad. Florida has lost 8 straight, 4 of them coming in overtime or shootouts, so they've got points, 4 points in those 8 games, but it's not enough. Offside whistled on the play. Bring it out for a face-off. Rangers looking to extend their latest win streak, which is a mini streak right now at 2. They've won 2 in a row, 5 of their last 6. Richards, Hagelin, and Callahan on. We're talking a little bit about Benoit Pouliot in that second period, Joe. For the game, he's played under 6 minutes.
6, right. And Miller's
giveaway. Hagelin for Richards. He scores! Rangers take advantage of the turnover, and Richards cashes in.
He needed the new stick. Get rid of the other one. Wow, did he ever rip this thing? The quickness again of Hagelin, and then Richards so decisive. That's what he's doing this year that we didn't see last year. He gets the puck and quick decision. Let's go, that hard wrist shot. Hard rising shot. And so he gets rid of the other stick that didn't work in that second period, gets a new one. Hagelin with the speed, Richards with the finish, Rangers with the lead.
Richards now has 5 points in his last 5 games, but that's his first goal in the last 9 games, and has given the Rangers the lead for the second time. They led 1-0, and now lead 3-2. Early third period. Brad Richards with his 6th of the season. Brad Boys in the corner against McDonough. McDonough and Girardi back together. Puck popped in the air. Nobody saw it except Lundqvist, and was pointing to it. The puck cleared out.
Yeah, Brad Richards was saying the other day, he said last year, he said, I get the puck, I spread my legs, I stop, and nothing happens. I don't shoot, I don't pass, I get hit. And it's been the complete opposite, hasn't it? I mean, he's just so decisive with what he wants to do.
Nice play by Brian Boyle. On-man rush, shot by Boyle, save, and then Thomas got run into by J.T. Miller, and that's a penalty on Miller.
Now, both of them, I believe. I think Thomas is going to get a penalty as well. because he responded after Miller ran into him. I think that Thomas is going to get a penalty on this. We'll see when they sort it out. But the initial call, I believe, was against Miller. And then I believe Thomas uses his right hand for a punch to the head. Here's the shot. Miller going there. Tries to stop, but still bumps into him, and then he takes a right hand.
Greg Kimmerly announcing the calls.
Mashinter in the middle of things. There it is again. There's the punch with the blocker. They both get them?
I think they have given out penalties. The Florida penalty box door is open, and they're waiting for someone to serve it.
Yeah.
So Thomas has gotten a penalty, and we'll see who comes over to serve it.
It's actually a bad penalty by Thomas to take it here. The team down here in the third period. This team would have had the power play, but they're going to have to send someone over to serve the minor penalty. Peter Horacek does not look happy with that.
Sean Bergenheim has gone over. He's in the penalty box. So the teams will skate 4 aside. The Rangers leading 3-2. A minute 40 seconds gone by here in the third period. Richards got the go-ahead goal at 46 seconds from Hagelin to give the Rangers the lead. The coincidental minors, Miller and Thomas. Miller for goalie interference and Thomas for roughing.
Girardi and McDonough back together on this 4-on-4.
Rangers forwards with Stepan and Zuccarello. Huberdeau controlling for Florida. Now Brian Campbell drops it off for Nick Bjugstad. Bjugstad's pass tipped to Campbell. Bjugstad missed it, breaking out Zuccarello. Gilbert is back. Zuccarello waits. Pass through to McDonough. McDonough takes it deep, fires for Zuccarello, and Gilbert broke it up. Towards Gilbert has it back for Florida. Pressure from Zuccarello. Campbell. Bring on Callahan and Kreider. Racing for the puck. Upshaw gets there first. Now Markov lost it. And Kreider able to control. Kreider for Callahan. It was tipped away. Brought the other way by Scotty Upshaw. On the boards for defenseman DeBranson. In deep. Moore and Stallman paired here on defense for the Rangers. And skating 4 aside for another 30 seconds, provided there are no other penalties. Callahan's up some deep. Thomas leaves it for Gilbert. Rangers scoring early here in the third. Brad Richards getting the goal. Brought in deep by Thomas Fleischmann. Hagelin on him. Now Delzato gets over. Stahl moves it to Hagelin. Hagelin with Stahl and Richards. 3 men across. Pass through to Richards. Back the other way to Hagelin. Off his stick. Marcel Gotts clears it out.
Boy, they've got some chemistry, don't they?
Yes.
That line. Hard backhand pass all the way to the other side of the ice by Hagelin. Richards goes right back to him the other way. Hagelin just mishandled it.
Hagelin comes in. Puck bouncing a little bit. Offside whistled on the play. 3:53 gone by here in the third period. Introducing the lounges at the newly transformed Madison Square Garden. A spectacular new group seating and hospitality experience on the new bridge level. It's up here with us. Visit NewYorkRangers.com or call 212-465-6080. You'll like the views, I guarantee it. Right?
This is great, isn't it? It really is. Right above the action.
Great job up here, Broussard. On for the Rangers with Pouliot. In his first action in the third period, Broussard, Pouliot, and Dorsett for the Rangers. The lead 3-2. Dorsett trying to move it. Looks for Mike Weaver. Nyquist stops it around the glass and out of the zone. Pouliot. And Girardi back from Pouliot off his skate. Brought in by Sean Matthias. Now Versteeg pass to Gilroy. His pass comes the other way. Dorsett brings it out. He's got an open man. It's McDonough. And it was tipped away. Good defensive play by Erik Gudbranson.
A penalty coming up against Florida, I believe.
A hooking call?
Yes. So the Rangers score the quick goal, and now they'll get a chance on the power play.
Chris Versteeg, I believe, is the man who gets the penalty.
He just gets up. He's just getting back into play. The Panthers had a pretty good offensive rush, and the Rangers were able to make the play and go the other way. And there's the stick on Dorsett. That's Versteeg's stick. And that's the hook. Rangers need to take advantage.
Rangers' second power play of the game. This power play presented by Volkswagen. Rangers 0 for 1 on the power play of the game with 2 shots on goal. Here's Stepan carrying in. Now Callahan. Pass through to Zuccarello. Deflection, a save. Great save by Thomas. Shot by McDonough. Deflected away by Marcel Gotch. And Gotch clears it all the way down.
That was the defenseman Weaver that slid to block the pass and instead just got a piece of the puck, and Thomas had to make a real good reactionary save.
McDonough to Stepan. Stepan, Callahan, and Zuccarello up front with Richards and McDonough at the points. McDonough goes over, gets there to keep in. Off the stick of Kulikov. Callahan. Penalty on Kulikov. Rangers will have a 2-man advantage. There's the touch-up. 2-man advantage for 1 minute 8 seconds. Kulikov upset with the call.
Now Kulikov was the player that gave the puck away that led to the first goal of this period. Here's the save. Watch Weaver, the defenseman. He deflects it. Thomas makes a real good save on the deflection. And then Kulikov gets in, takes down Callahan on the play. And Florida, they gave up a 5-on-3 goal yesterday, which turned out to be the game winner against Ottawa. And now the Rangers take a timeout. Good timeout here, as they'll get a chance to rest that group of players.
Scott Arniel diagramming the 5-on-3.
He's done a really good job with this power play.
Yes, he has.
Real good job.
Tuesday night, it's the classic battle, Rangers and Devils. And it all begins with Visa Rangers game night at 6:30. Rangers and Devils at 7. Tuesday night on MSG Network, part of the Tri-State Challenge presented by Ford.
Now the Rangers were not very good on faceoffs in the first period. In the second period, they were 17-9. And so now they got a chance to win this first faceoff, and this could be the game right here.
Rangers keep that same unit of 5 on the ice. Richards, McDonough, Zuccarello, Callahan, and Stepan on the 5-on-3. Stepan. Here comes Richards. Stepan. Richards, Zuccarello. Now McDonough to Richards. He shoots off the glove of Thomas and off the end board. Zuccarello's pass deflected. Out of play. Stays in the Florida zone.
Well, that shot by Richards didn't miss by much. So with this 5-on-3, and you've got Callahan in front of the net, you've got to give Callahan a chance to touch the puck. You've got to give him some touches. If you can't beat the goaltender on the first shot, give Callahan a chance for the deflection or the rebound.
Gotch trying to play it back behind the net. Gudbranson fires around. McDonough slides over and stops it. Now Richards to McDonough. 30 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage. Stepan to Richards. Zuccarello. Score! Matt Zuccarello. It's a power play goal. Rangers lead 4-2.
Now so much patience for the Rangers, and a great job by McDonough to keep the play alive. And then here's the one-timer. Richards with the pass. McDonough goes to the net. They have to follow him, and then the pass The quick shot. And Tim Thomas only gets a piece of it as Zuccarello scores the power play goal. But McDonough did a real good job keeping the puck in the zone, getting to the boards in a hurry, going down to block it, keeping it alive. Huge goal.
Matt Zuccarello has averaged a point a game over the last 9 games. Since he was a healthy scratch. It's still a 5-on-4 power play, but Sean Matthias to Campbell, and it deflects into the corner.
Good job by John Moore. Got his stick on that shot.
Rangers still on the power play, but Florida aggressive on the penalty kill here. And for the first time, the Rangers have a 2-goal lead in the game. John Moore looking for a lane. He shoots, saved by Thomas, clears the rebound himself. Brassard gets there. Brassard, Kreider, and Hagelin with Delzato and Moore. Long shot wide. That was taken by Brassard. Moore plays it down the boards. Pass Hagelin. Campbell able to get it to Upshaw, who clears all the way down. 25 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. 7:15 gone by in the third. The Rangers have scored 2 goals here in the third. Good stop at the line by Bjugstad. And the puck deflects out of play. 10 seconds to go on the power play. And for the Rangers, and you touched on it earlier in the game, Joe, the power play has been a real positive. 6 power play goals in the last 7 games.
Now they're a threat, even on the power plays where they don't score. It looks like they're doing enough to score by moving the puck, getting the shots, not hesitating. And it's something they haven't had for a few years.
Taken back by Richards. Whatever Scott Arniel was diagramming worked. Step on. And that was blocked. Waited. And Weaver slid across. Shot by Stahl goes wide. Power play is over. Rangers 1 for 3 on the power play in the game, but that was a big one. Zuccarello went down, but able to get up and play the puck. Step on. That's Zuccarello getting the goal to give the Rangers a 4-2 lead. Zuccarello here, the pass off the Skeet. Out of the zone. Zuccarello from Richards and Stepan. Power play goal of 6:16. Boyle tied up there with Barkov. Up the boards. Stopped by McDonough. And Girardi. Up the end boards for Boyle. Trying to stuff it in. A save by Thomas. And the puck is bouncing around. Popped in the air. Fired out by Miller. Here comes Dorsett. Dorsett drives to the net. Centers and is broken up by Kulikov. Miller's got the puck. Boy, Dorsett has been good.
Really has. Rangers caught Florida on a change there that led to that Dorsett chance. Florida, meanwhile, hasn't had a shot in this third period.
Dorsett has skated well. He's been aggressive. Good around the net. And he scored a goal. Hands alive. Petchke with a dump in, cleared out by McDonough. 11 minutes to go, third period. Rangers with a 4-2 lead. Kulikov. All the way around, it's whistled out for an icing on Florida. 9:09 gone by here in the third. That's Zuccarello. You see the numbers for the Rangers. First 12 games, they averaged 1.67, 1 2/3 goals per game. Last 5 games, close to 4 goals per game.
In 2 of those games, they scored 5. They get 3 in Columbus, or 4 in Columbus. 4 in Columbus, and 4 here again tonight.
McDonough empty net goal.
That's right. Never a doubt.
Lead for Kopetsky goes by him. Delzato. Hammer ships it to Moore. Quickly to Callahan. Callahan pressured by Gosh. Rangers get it out of the zone. Pressure by Florida. They're down by 2. Puck comes to Bergenheim, who shot it wide. Delzato able to lift it out of the zone. Coming down the midway point of the third period. Pushed ahead by Richards. Rangers changing. Richards comes off the boards. Richards fires toward the net, looking for a deflection from Chris Kreider. Richards checked by Weaver. Hockenheim. They will bring it out. Under 10 minutes to go in the third. Rangers leading 4-2. Rangers got the first goal of the game. JT Miller. Florida tied it late in the first period. Florida grabbed the 2-1 lead in the second. There's a hard pass across for Kreider, almost connected. Kreider against Gilbert. Dorsett with a goal tied it in the second. The Rangers have scored 2 here in the third. A deflection by Kreider. Thomas with a save. Kreider around that net. Boy, it's good to see that big body in front of the net.
He was the first one in on the forecheck, created the turnover, and then ended up with the deflection.
Stahl able to beat Fleischman to it. Stahl went down hard, slow getting up. It's back in the play. His puck in front. Chance for Bukestad. Saved by Lundqvist.
That's their first shot. 11-minute mark.
Kulikov. Now Fleischman lines up. That shot blocked by Boyle. Boyle working along the boards, able to lift it, but lifted it out of play into the Florida bench. 8:44 to go in the third period. Brad Richards got the goal to make it 3-2, and he helped set up Zuccarello's goal to make it 4-2. Our telestrator look is brought to you by Coke Zero. Joe, show us.
Here's the 5-on-3 goal. There's McDonough. Watch him. He makes an outstanding play. Florida gets it. They got a chance to clear it. He has to go down on his knees to save it. So he keeps it going. Now they can get set up. And if we stop it right there, here's the play they make. This way and then this way. That'll open lanes up. It'll leave Zuccarello over on the other side. To the middle. Here comes Richards. Finds the open man to the right side. Quick shot. 4-2 goal. Beautiful.
Very nice. Grab an ice cold Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste, but with 0 calories. It's possible.
McDonough's had another great game.
Yes, he has.
Boy, oh boy, is he making plays. With the puck, without the puck.
And once again, the Rangers doing a good job in becoming an identity, if you will. They're shutting teams down and denying them chances. They're limiting teams' chances each game. Coming up, it's the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, your destination for endless excitement. 8:15 to go here in the third period. Rangers trying to get over the 500 mark for the first time this season.
Henrik Lundqvist trying to get back to 500 with his record.
Lately, his numbers have been fabulous. Goals against recent games down in the ones. Brad Boyes in deep. Down the boards to Branson. Got it knocked away. Marcel Gotch. Callahan on him. Keeping the Rangers zone. Stahl goes back to get it. 7:45 to go, third period. Richards with a backhand pass. Nice pass on the stick of Hagelin. In with a shot deflected away by Matt Gilroy. Bukestad. Pushed for Moore. Rawlman under pressure, but able to get it back to John Moore. Hagelin is pressured by Weaver. Save on the long shot by Lundqvist, and he holds it. 7:18 to go. Third period. Panthers have had only two shots on goal here in the third. The turning point of the game is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers.
What a night for Brad Richards. Inadvertently blocks a shot there. Probably would have been a goal. Hits the post on that chance. Misses the net here. Has another chance. Thomas stops him there. Gets frustrated. That was the end of the second period. Breaks that stick. Gets a new one. Comes out in the third period. The steal by Hagelin, the feed. That goal made it 3-2, and then he added an assist on the fourth goal by Zuccarello.
All in the stick. All in the stick.
And one doesn't work, break it, get a new one. Do the same thing with golf clubs, right?
Fleischman out to Campbell. Rangers have Brassard and Miller and Boyle on the ice. Scramble in front, they score! Ryan Campbell with his second of the game. He found the loose puck in the slot. And for the first time in the last 10 games, the Rangers have given up more than 2 goals in a game.
He makes a beautiful spinorama move at the blue line, which opened this thing up. Here he is on the left. There's the move, and now takes it. Shot and just follows it up. They had only had 2 goals by defensemen coming into this game, and now Campbell has 2 more. His first 2 of the year. Good job by Bukestad to knock Girardi out of the way. That Bukestad's a big kid, 6'5". He knocks Girardi down. That allows Campbell to get the shot.
Stepan drives to the net, and Thomas made a save as he got a piece of it. And the Rangers come right back in. Stepan on with Zuccarello and Kreider. Mark Stahl plays it deep. 6:40 to go in the third. A lot of time here. And one thing we're seeing, the Florida Panthers, despite being down, despite having lost 8 straight games, they're still battling. They are not going away easy. Zuccarello behind the net. Stallman. Deep for Stepan, who has an assist in this game. Ryder with a bump, but then he ran into his own man, Zuccarello. Gilbert. Dumping Trywan into the Rangers bench. 6:10 to go.
Yeah, right after that goal, the Rangers come right back, and here's Derek Stepan. He did not miss by much. Good strong move, protects the puck, and just off the stick of Tim Thomas. And waving at it was Kreider. He tried to knock that out of midair and into the open net as well and missed.
So the Rangers, who had a 9-game streak, their longest streak since 1970-71 season, where they had given up 2 goals or fewer, have given up 3 goals in a game in this one. And it's a 4-3 game with 6 minutes to go.
That's the Brian Campbell I think we're used to seeing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he came into this game without a goal and 7 assists. And we mentioned earlier he was a plus player, which is hard to do when your team has 3 wins. And he's been really good tonight.
The back of the net to Branson. The defenseman got there. Boys try to slide it through. And Lundqvist stayed with it. Hagelin for Delzato. Callahan takes a hit from Branson. Past the boys. Branson's going to be a good one, Joe.
Oh, he is.
Here's Boys. High. Boys gets to it. Backhand to through. Gretzky out to Weaver. Winds up. Big shot. Lundqvist was screened on the play and it went wide.
They've got some jump to their game right now, Florida.
Boys pass taken away by Callahan. Able to lift it out. Weaver knocked it away. Knox tried to shoot it in, but it was blocked.
I think they wanted too many men on the ice, Florida.
A lot of players around the 2 benches. John Giannone was about to jump on the ice. He was right there.
I think the Rangers, they probably had a decent argument.
Under 5 minutes, 4:45 to go in the third. Rangers leading 4-3. Weaver tries to move it. And you're watching the Foxwoods Final 5. Foxwoods, your destination for endless excitement. Visit foxwoods.com now. Gilbert. Florida changes. Rangers send on Dorsett, Stepan, and Kreider. Now Dorsett goes off. Zuccarello comes on. No icing. The Stahl goes back for it. Played across, open man. Barkov puts it in front. Save Lundqvist as he stopped Upshaw. Barkov with a good pass. Florida picking up their game in their comeback effort, getting a goal and getting some good chances. Versteeg to Upshaw. Back to Campbell. Campbell checked there by Kreider. Zuccarello trying to get it out of the zone. He does. Versteeg takes it back. 3:40 to go. Third period. 4-3. Rangers leading it.
And the Rangers really have to keep an eye on those Florida defensemen sliding in.
Gotch for Kopetsky. He gets a shot off after the initial one was blocked by Stralman. McDonough against Gotch. McDonough takes it away, moves it for Richards. Big time pressure by Florida. Defenseman in deep. For Branson in the corner. Strawman trying to get away from Boyds. Down the ice it goes. Callahan hustles to get there. That negated an icing. Good play by Callahan. He forced Tim Thomas to come out and play the puck. Girardi takes over. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Hagelin played it deep. 2:45 to go as Brian Campbell carries. Girardi got a piece of it. Stahl went down, swept it into the corner. Weissman out to Campbell. Toward the net, a deflection, a save, a skate save by Lundqvist. Huberdeau. Florida putting pressure on. Campbell is in deep. Now it's Bjugstad. Boyle against Bjugstad. Nice play by Dorsett. Broussard reverses to Stahl. Hard around the boards. And the Panthers have to go back to get it. Gilbert picks it up. 2:05 to go in this third period. Matt Gilroy ahead. Barkov couldn't play it. Stepan to Zuccarello. Zuccarello shoots kicked away by Thomas. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Versteeg moves in. McDonough's there. Good job by McDonough stopping Versteeg. Ryder heads up ice. Nice little pass to Zuccarello. Try to get it to Stepan. Rangers send in deep. Gilroy's got it with a minute and a half to go in the third period. Rangers leading 4-3. What happened? Upshaw went down in front of the Florida bench. He's shaken up. He's hurting. He can't get to the bench. Tim Thomas has gone to the bench for an extra skater. Florida's net is empty. Upshaw just now got to the bench, a whistle, and play stops.
Kreider getting a penalty?
A penalty is coming up. Chris Kreider going to the bench. Going to the penalty box, excuse me. Upshaw shaking up here. Oh, yeah.
No, that's a bad penalty. That's a bad penalty by Chris Kreider. You just can't do that in a one goal game.
That happened right in front of John Giannola. John, what did you see?
It did, Sam, and what happened was Kreider had come over to try to stand up for Derek Stepan, who had been cross-checking with Upshaw in the 5 seconds before that. They looked like they were about to square off, and then Kreider stepped in and gave him the cross-check as we saw. And yeah, it happened right in front of me, and Upshaw was quite shaken up when he went into the boards.
Looked like the back of his head may have hit the boards there, right in front of John. 1:15 remaining in the third period. Rangers with a 4-3 lead, and the Panthers have a power play.
Here's what John is talking about out here in the center ice area. Actually, right here. Pardon me. Those two players. There's the slash, cross check, slash, cross check. Kreider sees this as he's coming the other way. You understand what he's doing, trying to help a teammate, but you've got to have a feel for the score and the time remaining. And now the Rangers have a lot of work to do.
The one good thing the Rangers can do, they can clear the puck from anywhere on the ice. The Panthers' net is empty. They have 6 skaters on as they look for the tying goal. The Rangers can shoot for the empty net. Campbell. Fleischman through to Gilbert. Rangers have Boyle and Stepan with McDonough and Girardi. Huberdeau to Gilbert. To Campbell. 1 minute to go in the third. Gilbert winds up. Now low Huberdeau. Kopetsky screening the goaltender. Gilbert to Campbell. He looks. High shot. And it was steered away. Fleischman gave it away to Girardi, who fires it out.
Campbell and Gilbert change sides now so that they can attempt the one-timers from the point.
35 seconds to go. Campbell to Kopetsky. Kopetsky stopped by McDonough. Hagelin along the boards. Hagelin and Callahan on. Bjugstad gets it back to Gilbert. Now Campbell. 20 seconds to go. Fleischman shoots. Deflected wide. Huberdeau, checked by Girardi. 15 seconds to go. Bjugstad winds it around the boards. Fleischman there. 10 seconds. Campbell's pass. Tipped by Hagelin. Shot by Gilbert. Blocked by Girardi. Callahan fires it out. It's wide, but the Rangers win it 4-3. There are no easy games in the National Hockey League. The Rangers against a Florida Panthers team that is struggling. They've lost 9 in a row. But the Rangers have won 3 in a row, 6 of their last 7. And they are 1 game over 500 at 9-8.
Well, when they needed their penalty killing to come up with a big effort, boy, did they ever get it in the last minute plus. With Kreider in the penalty box, Florida had pulled their goaltender. Lundqvist with another strong game, and that penalty killing at the end. This was a good hockey game. I mean, there were ebbs and flows to this game with changes in momentum. And the Rangers found their game back at the second half of the second period. Had a great start to the third period. And then Florida came on strong at the end.
You can see that Chris Kreider is a little disappointed that he put his team in a bad situation, but they bailed him out.
Well, they bailed him out, and he learns from it. The coaches will have a discussion with him, and they won't have to say much. He's a smart kid. He knew he took a bad penalty at the end, but they did bail him out, and that's what good teams do.
Game-winning goal belongs to Matt Zuccarello on the 5-on-3. Here are the 3 stars of the game, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit on the web and search Mercedes.com. The 3rd star,
Number 36, Matt
Zuccarello. The game-winning goal. And he continues to play well, averaging a point a game over the last 9 games.
Number 51, Brian Campbell.
Brian Campbell, who scored 2 goals for Florida, gets the 2nd star. Well earned. He played a real good game. And for the Rangers, Brad Richards.
He was really good. Brad Richards played a heck of a game. Was frustrated at times, but goal and assist in the third to lead them to the win.
The goal broke a 2-2 tie, and the assist made it 4-2. Rangers hold on for the 4-3 win, and they are 9-8 on the season. We'll be right back.